So, Chief, Tuesday night, the 19th of March, will go down as a very busy night for the North Attleboro Fire Department.
It sure was. Around 6 o'clock at night, we had a call for a rollover accident on 95. We had one vehicle that rolled over the guardrail. Two people were in the car. One was ejected, and both those patients were taken down to Rhode Island Hospital with serious injuries but stable. Conditions are non-life-threatening. Shortly after that, around 9 o'clock, we received a phone call for a chimney fire on Oak Ridge Avenue, so over on the Kelly Boulevard side of town. When we arrived, we did find a fire in the chimney. It was a fireplace. It was a wood stove insert. So the pipe was cherry red. We had some fire in there. We weren't sure if we had initially had extension into the building. And due to the remoteness of that street and the narrow street, we did declare a working fire, which brings in additional resources from Cumberland, Foxborough, and Attleboro. Ended up not being any extension. The firefighters were able to put the fire out with dry chemical fire extinguishers, and we have bags with dry chemical in it that we drop down the chimney because we don't use water on chimney fires because it can cause a lot more damage to the chimney itself. So the fire was extinguished. And if that wasn't enough, as we were responding to Oak Ridge Avenue, we had a walk-in medical emergency on the front ramp with a person with a severe laceration to the arm, currently being investigated by the police. But as I was responding to the fire, I stopped here. I rendered aid with the police department and waited for the Plainville ambulance to arrive.
Okay, let's take these one at a time. First of all, person ejected from the car but in stable condition. Is that because they landed on grass?
From what I had understood, they were landed on the grass, and they were treated aggressively by our paramedics and taken on to Rhode Island Hospital. And the report that I got that there was non-life-threatening injuries, but serious enough to go down to Rhode Island Hospital.
Is it my imagination, or have there been a rash of accidents that you've responded to on Route 95 over the last year?
Over the past couple weeks, we've had this accident. We had the one last week, 2 weeks ago, involving the gasoline tanker truck that was hit by a vehicle. That gasoline tanker was upright. It was empty, but the concern with an empty gasoline tanker truck is the fumes. So it's actually kind of safer to have one that's full versus the fumes that are in the tanker truck. So we had to take precautions for that. And we've had a variety of other accidents. I think it's just because a lot more people on the road. People are commuting, and we're having these accidents.
The chimney fire, I know that's always a concern as you head into the winter. We are talking to you on the first full day of spring. It's been pretty quiet, which is good news as far as chimney fires have been concerned this winter.
Yeah, so we haven't had many chimney fires. Over the past 2 years, we haven't had a lot of chimney fires, which is probably maybe people are tending to their chimneys a little bit more, making sure they're inspected, tested, and cleaned. Which is what we recommend, is that you clean your chimneys. Obviously, the more that you use the chimney, the more creosote that builds up. So we recommend that they do get cleaned on a yearly basis. And this one just happened to have a fire in there. It was confined to the pipe, so it was a fireplace. It was a wood stove insert. But there was a cherry red pipe, and there was a little bit of a hole where it was starting to burn through, and it was caught early by the homeowner.
And then finally, the last incident. In all your years, have you ever experienced that? I mean, I could see if this was urgent care. This isn't urgent care, although urgent care was provided.
Correct. Yeah, urgent care was provided, and normally the fire stations are staffed. It was just the wrong timing because we had received a call for the house fire that every firefighter was out of the station. I arrived. The police had already rendered first aid. They were bandaging the laceration. Due to the amount of laceration, I applied a tourniquet to stop the bleeding, and then Plainville ambulance took the patient down to Rhode Island Hospital.
Is it common for people to actually walk up to the station, though?
We do get a fair share of walk-ins here. We do. People driving by, whether they try and go to the hospital, but we do get our fair share here. I'd say probably under 10 a year, but we do get our fair share here. Yes, it really is.
Thank God every night's not like Tuesday night.
That's correct, yes. But our call volume, I actually just looked at the numbers today. We are 60 calls ahead of this time last year already in our call volume. So it's definitely a busy time here in North Attleboro.